To make each earring, you need Czech glass seed beads. These are all the same size, size 11 over 0. We're using turquoise, hot pink, gold, white, and black. We're going to create our earring on a 2-inch eye pin, and an eye pin is just a head pin that has a loop at the bottom. We also have a gold leaf charm and a gold earring wire. For tools, we have chain nose pliers and round nose pliers. Before we get started, I want to show you what the earrings are going to look like that we're making. I already went ahead and made one. Basically, we've got our seed beads in a nice fun pattern all the way down the middle of our eye pin here. We've got a leaf charm at the bottom and an earring wire at the top. And I'm going to show you how to make them right now. It's super easy. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few of each seed bead and put them in the palm of my hand. This is just a little trick that we like to do when we're beading with seed beads. It's easier to fish them out of your hand than try to hold them with your fingertips and pick them up. So let me lay this out so I can follow my pattern. There we go. I've got my eye pin here, and I'm going to start with a white seed bead at the bottom. And I'm going to do a little black and white at the bottom. And you'll see what I'm doing is just touching the seed bead and sort of tipping it onto the end of the eye pin and then just letting it slide down. And some of the seed beads may not fit on your eye pin. You'll want to be sure to test that before you get started. Sometimes, whoops, I did 2 blacks in a row. Let me go back here and put a white one on there. Sometimes the seed beads are so tiny that they won't fit on your earring wire or your eye pin wire. So just make sure they fit. And I'm going to do black and white like that. And I've got 3 of each on there, so I'm just going to keep going here. The fun thing about these earrings and this design is you really could do any pattern you want. You could do it with any colors you want. It would be fun to do this at a party actually, because everybody could do something different. Now I'm going to switch to my gold seed beads here, and I'm going to do 2 just so we get a nice little block of the color there. It shows the gold a little bit more to have 2. Then I'm going to do 4 of these turquoise seed beads. We love working with seed beads because you can buy them pretty inexpensively and they go really far. I'm always amazed at how long it takes to actually go through a whole tube of these seed beads. Here's our hot pink, and adding the hot pink really makes it look current. This color palette is so trendy right now, this turquoise with the gold and the black and white. And then just adding this hot pink gives it a little something. It's sort of odd, and it definitely adds interest. So I've got gold on each side of my hot pink, and now I'm basically just going to repeat the same pattern that I just did up to this point, back again. So I'm going to do the turquoise, gold, and then black and white. So here are my turquoise again, 4 turquoise. And you can do a couple at a time before you slide them down. It goes a little faster. Of course, I say that, now I can't get the 4th one on there. There we go. And now I'll do 2 gold. Like that. And you can always look back down at what you've already done to make sure it matches up. Here's a black and a white. It gets a little harder as you get toward the end. So I'm going to hold the seed beads on there so they don't slide off when I tip. So I'm holding it with my index finger there. Black and white, and then 1 more set of black and white. And then I'm just going to check it to make sure it looks the same. It does, same as this one too. Let's hold it up and check. Looks good to me. So now I'm going to put my seed beads back in my little dish here so they don't end up all over the floor. So now that we've got all of our seed beads on our eye pin, we're going to make a loop at the top of our eye pin that's the same size as the loop on the bottom. To do that, I'm going to start with my chain nose pliers. I'm going to bend a 90-degree bend right above that last bead there. And I just like to use the chain nose pliers for that so that you get a nice good 90-degree bend. Now I'm going to use my round nose pliers to make a loop. And I want the loop to be the same size as this loop at this end. So what I'm going to do is a little cheat. I'm going to feed my round nose pliers into the loop, and I can sort of see where the loop is on the pliers. And what I can do then is grasp this wire at about the same spot. And that way the loop, when I twist this, will be about the same diameter as that loop at the bottom. It's just a little trick. So I started the loop by twisting it once, and I'm going to twist it again. This wire is a little bit hard to maneuver, so I just do a little loop like that. And my loop got a little misshapen here. There we go. Okay, so now we've got our loop at the top and the bottom. And what we want to do is add our earring wire and our leaf charm. I'm going to start with the leaf charm at the bottom. And I like using the eyepin wire end that was already there because I know that it's nice and tidy and perfectly round, and the one I just did might not be quite as perfect. So I'm just going to open that by using my chain nose pliers. I basically just I grabbed and rotated toward the ceiling, and what that does is keeps the nice round shape of that loop. Now I can feed my leaf charm onto the loop and then use the chain nose pliers to just rotate that loop back closed. And I can always use the chain nose pliers to sort of mash across the loop to make sure it's nice and closed like that. And now I'm going to essentially do the same thing at the top, but instead of opening this loop, because it's so close to these beads, it's a little bit harder to maneuver there, I'm going to open the loop on the earring wire instead. So I'm going to use my chain nose pliers, and I'm going to grasp that loop just like I did on the eye pin, and I'm going to rotate up toward the ceiling, and that opens that loop while keeping that round shape. Now this part's a little bit tricky because I want the leaf to be on the front facing forward, and if I feed on my earring wire the wrong way, it could end up facing backwards. So what I like to do is hold the earring how I want it, which is facing forward like that. And then I'm going to orient the earring wire how it should be, which is this way because it's going to go in through your ear. And that way I can fish it on and know it'll be right. And now I can just close the earring wire the same way I opened it with the chain nose pliers, rotate back, and I'll mash across just to make sure it's nice and closed. And the last thing I want to do is make sure that the leaf charm is going to hang facing forward once this is in my ear. You can see that because of the way the loop is at the top, this earring wire is wanting to rotate, which is going to make this leaf hang sideways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my chain nose pliers to turn my loop so that it's perpendicular to the loop at the bottom. And that way it'll hang straight. There we go. And there we have a matching pair of our super cool, colorful seed bead and leaf earrings.